Hi everyone, this is Jarek from Genius Gecko and welcome to another video where I will be comparing BigPicture to Advanced Roadmaps. In this video, we're gonna focus on creating hierarchies. If you haven't watched my previous videos, please check them out. I think they will be very helpful to you. They are about scheduling issues and managing resources. And in this one, we're gonna build on top of that. Remember that if you'll need any further help, you can always contact us. We offer trainings, consultations. We also have a very good implementation process. So if you just start using the tool, you want to bring it out and across whole company, we will be able to help you with that. And now jumping on into the tool. Let's start by going through what kind of issue hierarchy we can build in Advanced Roadmap. So over here, I have a plan. It's called Project 3. And you can see that already it has some issue hierarchy. So we have epic at the top level, we have story, we have subtasks, right? So this is pretty standard hierarchy. Subtasks are just subtasks of this particular issue, this particular story, and this story is linked with epic link to this epic. That way we indicate hierarchy in Jira, and this is how Advanced Roadmaps understands where in the hierarchy each issue should be placed. But this standard Jira hierarchy is kind of a limited. We can only have 3 levels of issues over here, right? So for a lot of you, this will not be sufficient. Fortunately, Advanced Roadmap provide additional configuration option. This configuration is actually available in Jira configuration. So let's go to issue configurations, and over here we have issue type hierarchy. By default, we have these 3 levels: epic, story, subtask. Over here, I added one more level: initiative. I linked issue type. So basically, only initiative issue type can be at this highest level. So this basically means that epics can be children of issue type initiative. I could add more levels here or in between, and Advanced Roadmaps would understand this. But now, how this information is actually reflected on the issue level. So let's go back into the Advanced Roadmaps. I will actually pick other plan called Project Portfolio. And we can see over here that I have initiative issue here. And there is a children of this issue that is an epic. So let's enter this epic. And you will see over here that actually, thanks to Advanced Roadmaps, there is additional field that is provided over here called parent link. And here we can pick issues that we defined in the setting screen that we've seen before. So of the type that we defined. So you can see that I have 2 initiative issue types that I can pick. If I would change it, the parent of this epic would basically change, and the place in which it is displayed in Advanced Roadmap would change. So this is pretty simple in my view, and it is quite powerful because we can provide multiple levels of this hierarchy. It is easy to understand because what is the parent or where the issue is in hierarchy is based just on a single information, just on this parent link. So it's straightforward, it's flexible, it's a good solution in my view. So let's go back to Advanced Roadmap and see what else can we check here. You've seen that here I do have initiatives. In my other plan I didn't have, despite the fact that I think it was the same epics. This might be due to one of the reasons. My initiatives are actually in different Jira projects, so they could be out of scope of my project 3. So this is one thing to remember, that actually if you want to see hierarchy over here, all the issues or all the issues that create this hierarchy have to be in scope of this plan. And the second thing is that in filtering options, we are actually able to set which levels of hierarchy we see. So this is pretty useful. I will switch back to project portfolio again. Filters, and you can see that here I see from initiative to subtask, but maybe at a certain point in time, I do not want to see so granular information. So I can switch that. I want to see only to story level, right? So let's do that. I do not think I had any subtasks, so let's limit it even more and let's display just initiatives and epics. And now you can see that we can see only 2 levels over here. Again, I find this solution easy to understand and useful. Okay, so now let's have a look at what BigPicture offers. In case of BigPicture, it is a bit more complex. I think it might be slightly more flexible, and especially it will be better if you already have some hierarchy of issues that is, for example, created by using links, and you want to see this in BigPicture or in the project management tool. In advanced roadmaps, it would be hard to do because you would basically have to translate this hierarchy based on issues to the linking, the parent link. So that could be manual work, maybe some scripting work to do this automatically, but this is not something that would work out of the box. In the BigPicture, it could. So you can see that over here I also have pretty simple hierarchy, or pretty standard hierarchy. I have epics at the top. I have here some stories. One of the story have subtasks. So this is standard based on information stored on Jira issue. BigPicture understands how the structure should be created. Now let's look at the configuration that is available over here. So let's go for configuration, task structure. This is the one that we're interested in. So you can see that there are several presets that we can use. I will click advanced configuration just to discuss everything. So over here, you can see what information can be used to create a structure. At the moment, I have 2 elements enabled, epic and subtask. This means that all issues linked to the epic via epic link will be children of this epic, and all the subtasks of an issue will be a child of this subtask, of this task in BigPicture. Now I can enable way more structure builders. So I could enable, for example, the project. What it would do, and by the way, here you can see a structure preview. It will, in first place, group all the issues under Jira projects that they are in. So let's actually save that, and we will see what is the outcome of this change. Yeah, you can see that we have now 2 entries at the highest level representing the Jira projects from which the tickets come from which tickets are put in the scope into this box. And now we can drill down and see, okay, now we have epics, and under epics we have tasks and stories and other issue types that are linked to this epic. So we got additional level of hierarchy. Let's get back to configuration and talk about REST options. So these are so-called built-in structure builders. We can see the type over here. So the built-in one are structure builders based on system fields that are available in Jira. We could do hierarchy based on version. So if version is assigned to issue type, additional entry for version would appear on our list, similar to the project one, and all the issues within the version would be grouped underneath. The same goes for component, Jira sprint, and so on. Now there is a tricky part. So yeah, I enabled, actually there are 2 tricky things. So first of all, let's say that the version or component. Normally Jira allows to assign 2 versions or 2 components to single Jira issue. Now, if that's the case, where issue will be located in our hierarchy? Because it should be in theory in 2 places, because there will be 2 entries, for example, for 2 different components. and issue should be treated as children of both of them, right? Where actually in that case, part of this information will be omitted. So basically it will be put under just one component, and we won't even see that it is also located under the other. So I would be careful with using those three actually structure builders, especially that if we enable two of them, you see that there is a conflict. This is also because having multiple different elements on single issue can cause problems that BigPicture will not display issue in correct place, right? So using these structure builders can be kind of a complex, and therefore, if you have any problems with it, if you really need to use those, you can reach out to us. We'll try to help you come up with proper setup and proper idea. Okay, but that's still kind of limiting, right? So you may want to have 5 levels of hierarchy, but you may want to have all of them based on Jira issues. When we enable projects, this is not Jira issue, this will be entry representing project. The same goes for the version for the component. So how to create the links or the hierarchy based on Jira issues only. And for that, we can actually use the link-based structure builders. So these are the issue link types that are configured on our instance. We can enable them. Let's put them below Epic and the parent. It doesn't really matter in this case, but it's better to have that. And now, if there will be a link between two issues, link of this type, BigPicture will understand it as a hierarchy information. And we can inverse it if the link is in the wrong direction, but let's drop it for a moment. So let's save this one. We will get back to Gantt and I will tell you what or how does it work. So let's look at this issue for example, the ones in this epic. So we have the stories here, or actually the task, 3 tasks. At the moment, or in standard, Jira does not allow one task to be children of the other task, right? BigPicture did allow that. We could do the manual change, but normally this information would be then stored only in BigPicture. So the fact that P120 is a children of P190 would be stored only in BigPicture. But thanks to the fact that we enabled this structure builder based on link, BigPicture understands that, hey, these 2 elements are in parent-child relationship. We should reflect this on the issues. So let's open one of them and we will see that now the link appeared over here. So P20 is child of P19. This is what we wanted to see. That's awesome. Of course, we can go back and do even deeper hierarchy. So let's say that P21 should be child of P20. This time I will open P21 and do it from this level. So I will create a link issue, link type is child of, if I'll find it, yeah, here it goes. And it was P120, if I remember correctly. Yep, link, good. And now the moment we refresh the screen, this should already be visible. You can see that the fields over here already changed as it would have children. It is not displayed yet over here, but if we refresh, it will be. So this is what I meant when I said that if you already have hierarchy in Jira reflected based on links, BigPicture will be your friend. So you can import all these issues or put all these issues into single box, enable the structure builder, and BigPicture will understand that based on this link, it should just create this parent-child hierarchy. So how to compare those 2 tools? If you're starting project completely from fresh and you need very deep hierarchy, I think that Advanced Roadmaps is more intuitive. That being said, if you already have issues, you have some hierarchy, but you are not using any project management tool, you want to start using it, BigPicture will be more accommodating out of the box. It will help you to reflect this hierarchy in the tool easier. Okay, we discussed issue hierarchy, but there is a second hierarchy that you might not have thought about. And this is a higher level hierarchy. So let's go into the plans. Let's assume that we have a situation where we in fact have several projects and we want to manage and monitor this project in the tool separately, but we also want to have overview of all the projects, right? So we have a project portfolio. How this can be done in both of these tools. So basically, Advanced Roadmap do not have any feature to provide you that kind of multi levels or hierarchy of issues that are, or actually not issues, of elements that are or higher level than project. You just have plans. These plans can represent not only project, but in general, these plans cannot have any hierarchy. So if you have scenario where you have multiple projects and project portfolio, what you can do is you can create separate plans for each project, like I did here, and also create a separate plan for covering portfolio. So basically, this plan in your in scope would have everything that is on lower level elements, so on projects. If I look on the issue sources, this will contain everything that our projects do. So you see that there is a workaround to have that kind of hierarchy. You can put some kind of prefix here to indicate which level each plan is. And using this filtering that I've just shown, you can also display different levels of information, because probably on portfolio level you do not want to see subtasks, maybe even tasks you're interested in initiatives and epics, while on the project level you'll do other filter and you'll display only epics and lower, right? So this makes sense. The bit of a downside of this approach is that the moment you add a new project, you configure its scope, you also need to go to project portfolio and expand its scope to cover for the next project. So yeah, that's kind of a workaround, but there's not many issues with it, so it usually works pretty well. Now, switching to BigPicture, it's a bit more complex, but it's because it's more advanced, and again, it gives you more possibilities. Okay, we discussed issue hierarchy, but there is a second hierarchy that you might not have thought about. And this is a higher level hierarchy. So let's go into the plans. Let's assume that we have a situation where we in fact have several projects and we want to manage and monitor this project in the tool separately, but we also want to have overview of all the projects, right? So we have a project portfolio. How this can be done in both of these tools. So basically, Advanced Roadmap do not have any feature to provide you that kind of multi levels or hierarchy of issues that are, or actually not issues, of elements that are or higher level than project. You just have plans. These plans can represent not only project, but in general, these plans cannot have any hierarchy. So if you have scenario where you have multiple projects and project portfolio, what you can do is you can create separate plans for each project, like I did here, and also create a separate plan for covering portfolio. So basically, this plan in your in scope would have everything that is on lower level elements, so on projects. If I look on the issue sources, this will contain everything that our projects do. So you see that there is a workaround to have that kind of hierarchy. You can put some kind of prefix here to indicate which level each plan is. And using this filtering that I've just shown, you can also display different levels of information, because probably on portfolio level you do not want to see subtasks, maybe even tasks you're interested only in initiatives and epics, while on the project level you'll do other filter and you'll display only epics and lower, right? So this makes sense. The bit of a downside of this approach is that the moment you add a new project, you configure its scope, you also need to go to project portfolio and expand its scope to cover for the next project. So yeah, that's kind of a workaround, but there's not many issues with it, so it usually works pretty well. Now, switching to BigPicture, it's a bit more complex, but it's because it's more advanced, and again, it gives you more possibilities. So in BigPicture, you can already see that I have multiple levels over here, right? So I created a box or a plan. It would be a plan in Advanced Roadmaps. It is box in BigPicture. That is a project portfolio. It is of a different type, so there are some configuration specifics that make it way different than other ones. And underneath, I have two projects. Under one of a project, I even have lower levels. So the sprints for more standard or waterfall approach, this could be project phases. Of course, we could take in BigPicture exactly the same approach as in Advanced Roadmap. So we could just create multiple boxes on the same level, and just one representing project portfolio would cover the scope of all the projects that we have created. But here it is a bit more automatic. On the project level, we can still manage issues over here, manage project over here, dependencies, resources, and so on and so on. But if we need to go step higher, have an overview, we can switch over to the project portfolio. I will actually do that on the resource module, because not all modules are available on the portfolio level. We can switch to resources, go to portfolio, and you will see that portfolio actually aggregates information from all lower levels. So there is not much difference, but you can see over here that there is additional issue. This one's from project P1, this is from project P2. So basically over here I have overview of allocation of all my resources, and yeah, I'm basically able to pull out information from multiple projects. What is more, switching back to the overview, I will actually switch back this on the home level, although there's not much difference. We have additional aggregations over here. So we have information about status of a tasks, for example. We see what is the progress, not within one project, but within all the projects that are in the portfolio. Yeah, so you can see that overall 92% of tasks is in status to do, status category to do actually. But most of the progress comes actually from one project. The other one is basically not started yet. We could put more information here in the columns. We could aggregate them to portfolio level, and then we wouldn't have to drill down each time and see what is happening within each project and try to come up with progress of portfolio, because yeah, basically we have information about portfolio on this level. If we need more detailed one, we can drill down. So yeah, as I said, it gives more possibilities, or BigPicture has more possibilities than Advanced Roadmaps. The upside of this approach is that obviously if we create new project, it is automatically included in the portfolio, so we do not need to take a step back and edit the scope of this again. And we basically have live updates. Whenever something happens in a project, we get that reflected on the portfolio. But that's actually also the case in Advanced Roadmaps. So this one's really useful for large enterprises where you often have multiple projects, multiple portfolios, sometimes even programs, grouping portfolios. In Advanced Roadmap, that would get hard to navigate pretty quickly. BigPicture just provides better overview of that. Okay, that's it for today. Hope it was informative to you, and hear you on the next video.